Hello, Genie OK Boomer here. Welcome to this week's vlog. Definitely a vlog where I should give you at the outset my disclaimer that I am a conservative. Always keep that in mind whenever you evaluate what I say, especially when I characterize a news event or anything as good news or bad news. When I say good news, I mean good news for conservatives. I could also extend that and say good news for America and Americans. But it's bad news for liberals, and I guess liberals would say it's bad news for America and Americans. So we'll just have to politely differ on that. We'll just have to agree to disagree. But I have some great news for conservatives. This is something that I have been waiting for a long time. It has to do with a poll. Well, you already know the results from the title to this vlog, but there have been polls showing President Biden's approval rating as low as 33%. But this one is especially important because it's the Rasmussen poll of likely voters, not registered voters, not all adults, but likely voters who have a history of voting in elections, such as myself, or presidential elections anyways. I have missed some school board meetings. Mea culpa, I confess. But what's important also is that the reason, well, Rasmussen is one of my go-to polls, the other one being the Trafalgar poll, and the reason it's one of my go-to polls is, well, they're a record for accuracy. They are always at or near the top in predicting the results of a presidential election, so that's number one. But number two, they do likely voters, and they're one of the only ones who do. Well, you'll occasionally see another poll of likely voters, but Rasmussen does it consistently. They do it 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, unless there's a holiday. Then they'll skip a holiday, such as they did for 4th of July. But they also have a methodology where they do a 3-day moving average, so you don't get these spikes up and down, and it gets smoothed out. They poll 500 voters each night, and then they will do an average. They'll just put the three together, and then give you an overall percentage of approval or disapproval. And well, they do both, I mean, approval and disapproval. And also they use a mechanical voice where you get the questions, and then from a robot voice, so you can't be influenced by a human being's bias. And then also you answer by hitting buttons on your phone, so there's no human interaction. So that helps make it more objective too. But I followed it, well, for years and years and years, and regarding Biden, his approval has fluctuated. He's been, well, I mean, early in his presidency, he was, I think, just about 60%. But lately, well, for months, he's been behind Trump. That's one thing that is really frustrating a lot of Democrats, because he's consistently, as you'll see here, the trend continues. Trump is usually several points ahead of Biden. What Trump's approval was at the same point in his presidency. And you have to remember that this is with the press relentlessly attacking Trump for his entire presidency. You have the media, on the other hand, supporting Biden, doing everything to prop him up, and yet we have this disparity where Trump's approval is several points ahead of Biden's. Imagine if both people were reported on fairly by our press. That would be, well, the disparity, the gap would be even wider. But Biden has fluctuated. He would go down to 38%. That was his low. He would go down to 38% and then pop up the very next day to 41 or 42. And one time he went right back up to 45, but still below Trump, by the way. And this is the day. I'm recording this on Friday, July 8th. You're seeing it the following Monday. This is the day where Biden hit a new low among likely voters of, as you saw in the title, 37%. He is down to 37% among likely voters, as you can see in this graphic that I put up for you. But now let's zoom in. Let's do a close-up, and you can see the disparity. Well, what you see here is you see Trump on top several days ago. He was at 47%, then 48%, then back to 47%. But look at Biden. He was, I think like 40, I didn't put it in here. He was 41%. But then you see for the last few days, he's at 41% and Trump is at 48%. And that's taking into account 90% negative stories about Trump when he was president, and Biden burying his dementia. The press just buries it, the Hunter Biden laptop. So that's the other thing. Someone did a study, and in the press room, when you see the press there asking the press secretary questions, the press is 12-1 Democrats. There are only 2 reporters there who ever ask a challenging question. One of them is somebody, I don't remember his name, from Real Clear in Politics, and the other one is Peter Doocy from Fox News, and he asked about the laptop, this recording of Joe Biden. Well, obviously, he knowing about Hunter Biden's business deals with Chinese firms and Chinese individuals connected to the Chinese party, and well, it's on tape, and that you contrast that with numerous statements by Biden that he knew nothing about his son's business dealings, and the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, just dismissed it, called it an alleged. I'm not going to talk about an alleged statement on a laptop. It's not alleged. It's on tape, and we've all heard it. If you haven't heard it, you go on the internet and you'll find it, I'm sure. But I'll end on this. You see Biden at 41% for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 last 6 days. So remember, the poll is every 5 days a week, and we had the July 4th interruption. So this is going back more than a week. He's been at 41%. Now suddenly in this new poll, he drops down to 37%. That is 10 points below Trump when he was at the same point in his presidency. But what matters is, again, it's an average. It's an average. So it's an average of the last 3 days. So for Biden, 41%, 41%, and 37%. So for that to be 37%, the polling on that day had to be way, way, way below 37%, because it has to be averaged in with 41%. And if it comes in 4 points below 41%, you have to see that has to be quite a significant figure. So we're going to have to see what happens tomorrow, or what happens on Monday, and then, well, the whole week, because I do these once a week. But it'll be interesting to see. You know, I'm going to put the presidential approval. I'm going to put the link on I'm going to put it below, so you can follow by yourself. But that is very low. I mean, 37% approval means 63% disapproval. And we're still a few months away from the election, with Joe Biden giving absolutely no indication that he is going to change anything. If nothing else, he's doubling down. He's saying that he's doing everything he can to increase the amount of oil, but he's closing down more federal lands and the water, both coasts, the Pacific and the Atlantic. He closed that completely to offshore drilling, and the Permian Basin, where we get 40% of our oil, and the EPA wants to close down at least part of that, but they may not be able to because of the recent Brule decision, where the Supreme Court said that there's a limit to the EPA's powers, and then if they want to do something significant, Congress has to approve. So hopefully that won't go through. But, well, as the old saying goes, time will tell. But just remember, well, I'll throw in one more thing. Well, with this, it looks increasingly likely that the Republicans will at least retake the House, and I would think that they would be able to retake the Senate, because whatever the polls say, if you have a red wave, it's going to affect everybody, and the Republicans need only one seat to retake the Senate. But even if it's just the House, you're going to see massive investigations of all these scandals that the media has been burying, and then we'll see what's going to happen going forward. I'm going to wonder if Biden will be the candidate. If he is, then, well, like I said, that's good news for conservatives, bad news for liberals. In fact, I think my next vlog is going to be about how they obviously want to get rid of Biden. They want to figure a way to do it. And I'm going to tell them how they can do it. Very easy way they can do it and reclaim their lost integrity, the Democrats. But that's next week's vlog. And this is it for this week's vlog. Thanks as always for stopping by. I appreciate the time you spend with me. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for future topics, put them in the comments section below the video. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. Share the video with anybody you think would like it. But most of all, or benefit from it, even if they don't like it, maybe your liberal friends. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.